Hello and welcome to another Stories of Northern Life episode from the Sault Ste. Marie Museum. Today we are going to talk about everything the museum houses behind its doors, beyond the walls, and all the things our visitors don't always get to see. So let's get into it. Deep into our archives and collections, there are hidden gems and precious items telling the stories of people in this area for well over 100 years. There are over 13,000 three-dimensional objects in our collection. The few of our oldest artifacts are a spear thrower, estimated to be about 9,000 years old, a copper snake, estimated to be 5,000 years old. With European tradition, our oldest artifact is a Latin missal, printed in 1510, just a few years after the invention of the printing press. Our largest items must be the wigwam and canoe on display in our Skylight Gallery, or maybe the motorized toboggan in our sports exhibit. Our creepiest item in our collection, in my opinion, is the doll named Baby Secret. It has a pull chain on the side that winds up a mechanism inside and allows her to talk. She says different things in her cracked, muffled voice as her mouth moves. There are so many cool artifacts to even pick a handful to talk about today. If you haven't been to the museum recently, you should most definitely pay us a visit and explore the artifacts we have on display. And if you ask for it, I'll even bring out Baby Secret. Every individual item has a full life before they came into our possession. These items belong to real people, each with their own story. And so to be home to all these items and carry on the stories of people who owned them before is quite special. It gives us insight on how people of Sault Ste. Marie carried about their lives, habits they had, what was important to them, and the trends of the time. Now, where do we keep all these things? Most of our collection goes into our basement. Most of the space down there is storage for these items. And we are fortunate to get some new storage and organization equipment to keep things in order and easy to find, as well as in good condition. Our third floor is another place in our facility that we can find a lot of our collections. This is where all our textiles live. These are clothing garments, including shoes, quilts, blankets, and flags. Even furniture items have found their place up there. We are switching over to Past Perfect and adhering to the rules of archival description, the Canadian Archival Descriptive Standard. This will help us better locate and identify artifacts. We also have our digitization studio that holds film, cassette tapes, CDs, film stills, and all sorts of digital graphic material on the third floor. We've been working hard to digitalize a lot of the old tapes so we can use them now, translating them into a podcast or for audio experiences in our exhibits. Now for the archives. There are over 50,000 items in our archival collection. This includes documents, photos, maps, books, and all those kinds of things. Handwritten letters of historical significance, minutes and annual reports of local industries, newspaper clippings. We also have an extensive photo, negative, and slide collection. We have 2 rooms solely dedicated to these materials on our first floor behind the scenes. In the mid-1980s, the museum began to establish an education collection that includes teaching aids, artifacts destined for hands-on use, and reference materials. Many of the education artifacts are on display in the Discovery Gallery. Others are included in traveling school kits and outreach display supplies. The Sault Ste. Marie 49th Field Regiment RCA has been involved with the museum since 1951, when the Pine Street Armory was built to include space for the Historical Society's collection. When the Society moved downtown to the present museum in 1983, the 49th Field Regiment retained rights to the military portion of the collection and placed their collection pre-1983 on long-term loan to the museum. This collection includes military gear and memorabilia from the 2 World Wars and from the regiment's more recent history. A small selection of the military artifacts from other wars is part of the collection as well. We are currently updating our military exhibit with a fresh coat of paint, updated panels, and displays. We are also storing the Sault Royal Canadian Legion Branch 25's collection while they build their new building over the next couple of years. Some of the items in the collection have been permanently donated to us. A lot of these items will go on display in our newly renovated military exhibit as well. We are also very lucky to be home to a few complete collections. We have the entire Bond Sault collection, the Sault Police Department's collection, the Finnish Rest Homes collection, and the local CTV and former CJIC collection. The museum also has a reference collection as well. These include books, catalogs, periodicals, newspaper articles, and more. We use this collection for research requests and creating content for the public, whether it be in the form of podcasts like this, videos, social media posts, information panels in our exhibits, and more. If you are ever curious about Sault Ste. Marie history and need to find some research for a personal curiosity, a school project, publications, or for anything really, we can help. Go to our website, saultmuseum.ca, and fill out a simple form, and someone on our research team will contact you shortly after. With the exception of a small body of prehistoric material, points, potsherds, and copper artifacts, most objects in our collection date from the late 1800s forward. The museum has maintained a 30-year rule. As each year passes, the collection expands to include another year. As in this year, we would be accepting items from as early as 1992. In recent years, we have become more lenient on this rule depending on the item and significance. Sometimes we can't wait 30 years to guarantee we obtain specific history into our collection. Especially digital content is easier for us to store and maintain. A good example of this is our ongoing rapid response collection for COVID-19 and its effects on the local community. Looking back on the pandemics in the past, we have little to no documented history on its impact in the Sault. But now, we would like to know how this pandemic affected our community and the people of Sault Ste. Marie individually for years to come. If you have anything you would like to donate in regards to our COVID-19 rapid response, please send an email to collections@saultmuseum.ca. We are looking for digital submissions specifically, so you can send a file over to that email. We also have more information on this project on our website, saultmuseum.ca. Overall, the collection is a mixture of archival materials and three-dimensional artifacts containing over 65,000 items, all with a unique story and importance to Sault Ste. Marie history in some way. The team at the museum is always working hard to preserve our history and facilitate a space to educate and inform our audiences on this rich history. Stay informed on what's happening at the museum and the rotation of exhibits on our website, or follow us on all social media platforms at Sault Museum. Also, don't be afraid to come visit us anytime between 10 till 4, Tuesdays through Saturdays. Thanks for listening.